Hi there guys, Mark here. Thank you very much for joining me in another video. This one is going to cover the process of making rope using one of the most basic rope making tools, a rope stick or club. As with any skill, it is a good idea to start simple and build up to more advanced techniques later on. By trying out this technique, you can learn the basics of building rope, plus it is a fun activity for the family. We're going to begin by building the tool, then we're going to use it in practice to make rope. So here you can see how the tool works. It has two components: the spinning part and the handle. To make the handle, we cut 8 inches off of a stick or dowel rod. In my case, the diameter is 3/4 of an inch. Then drill a hole into a piece of wood. The hole should be of the same diameter as your stick or dowel rod. In my case, 3/4 of an inch. The wood that I'm drilling into is 1 inch and 3/4 wide and 1 inch thick. Now grab the dowel rod and fit it. Avoid too tight of a fit. The dowel rod can split your wood if the fit is too tight. Shave off a bit of the dowel rod using a knife. Cut your wood into a square shape. Apply a bit of glue. And tap your dowel rod into place. After the glue dries, secure the top a bit further, either by using a nail or by driving in a screw. For the spinning part, I'm going to cut a piece a foot long. In my case, I'm using the same wood as for the head of the handle. So the width is 1 inch and 3/4, the thickness is 1 inch. I'm now going to cut a couple of notches into my piece of wood. You can use all sorts of tools: a coping saw, a jigsaw, or maybe just a regular saw and do a V-notch. I prefer a curved notch since in my opinion it looks a bit better. As long as you have any sort of a notch, one on each side, you're good to go. drill a hole above the 2 notches. The hole needs to be 1/4 of an inch bigger than the dowel rod, so I'm drilling a hole 1 inch wide. I now smooth any sharp edges by carving them off with a knife. Then I do a bit of sanding over the carved sections. Our tool is ready to be used. I now create a simple attachment point which is going to hold the other end of my rope while I'm twisting it into place. So a couple of nails and maybe an S-hook. I'm now going to cut a length of hemp twine . And I'm going to tie the 2 ends into a knot. Forming a big loop. We continue by attaching one end of our loop onto our attachment point and we attach the other end onto the 2 notches on our tool. We now twist our loop clockwise. Keep tension onto your loop to get a nice looking piece of rope. I recommend over twisting your loop at least a little bit. Finally, when you loosen up your twisting, it should bunch up like this. This means it's ready for the next step. We now fold our twisting, attaching once more onto our attachment point, and placing the bight over the 2 notches on our tool. The result is 3 strands that we're going to twist into our rope. We now twist counterclockwise, keeping tension onto our 3 strands. Over twist your rope. Finally, tape up the ends of your rope. In my case, I'm using masking tape. With that, our rope is complete. There are a number of ways that you can use to improve this technique. One of those ways is to add a second attachment point. This makes the folding over process a lot easier, which is especially important when you're making longer ropes. So the second attachment point is again a couple of nails and an S-hook. Instead of using a loop at the start, which gives you 2 initial strands to twist, you can use a different setup which gives you 3 strands or even 4, which is going to result in a thicker, stronger rope. So guys, that's it for today. A simple technique for making rope, the rope stick or club. Thank you very much for joining me today. See ya next time.